Like when we are so busy, we are not able to slot in time for self-care. But even if you have the time, you will still not practice good self-care habits when you don't prioritize them. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Minnie. Welcome back to Ming TV, where we talk about self-care tips to help you create a sustainable, successful lifestyle. Today, I want to just quickly say thank you for the support for the last video where I did something really different. And it's a new format. If you like that, please give that a view and click the like button, because that would mean a lot to me and I would love to do more of that as well. I am going to share some of the top 5 lessons that I've learned throughout the quarantine period. So the first lesson that I've learned is that I have resources. I just have to look carefully. Before the quarantine, I always thought that my room is not like a strategic place to film, to run my business, to study, or to do anything. And I would always stay outside for the longest time until I come back. And even if I'm back, I don't really utilize my space really well. But this quarantine got me creative, and I put up this lovely background and got a little plant last Thursday, which I'm super proud of. His name is Joni. So I don't know, I'm becoming a plant parent, but I'm still learning. Anyways, so it's like really like diving deep into the resource that I already have. And this brings me to this point where we actually already have a lot of things inside of us, but we have not slowed down to acknowledge those things that we have. And it takes time to observe, and it takes time for us to really pull it out of us and start utilizing it. And it's the same when I'm working with my clients. Sometimes I don't even know that I have all these resources in me and all this strength in me. And when I'm in that situation, when I'm able to really have the space to talk about it, that's when I get to pull out all those resources. My second biggest takeaway is that when I practice the most important habit, things change. And I finally realized how important it is for me to practice those habits. And right now, currently, my most important habit is waking up early. For the past few days, I haven't been able to wake up as early as I would love to, but today I woke up at 4 a.m. for like an online course. But when I stayed awake, and right now, like, I feel amazing. I've accomplished a few things on my list, and I even get to practice my self-care habits like reading, journaling, exercising, and eating breakfast, making sure that my meals are all on time. This quarantine has helped me to realize what is the most important habit that I've been missing out throughout this whole time. And I've always been chasing tail to tail to find out, I need to read more. But then I realized that the most important habit that I really need to master is to wake up early. And with waking up early, I need to master sleeping on time and having a solid night routine so that I can be more well rested and I could start investing more in myself. My third biggest lesson is that I can actually connect with people. I can actually have time for people and for my relational needs. Before quarantine, it's so easy for me to say like, hey, I'm busy, I can't meet you up. But actually all it takes is just a phone call. All it takes is just a Zoom call. And it's so easy. It makes me realize that, hey, I actually can have a lot of this conversations going on with my friends, with my family. but I'm not doing that before quarantine. On top of that, I also realized that I can't replace physical connection with online connection, definitely, but it is all the small little efforts on checking in with my friend and my friends checking in with me. Those are those tiny little efforts that makes a huge change. So moving forward, I would really love to carry this lesson with me, where I would treasure more conversations with people, ask quality questions, and have quality conversations with these people. Now, the fourth tip may be the most important lesson that I've learned, which is even though I have a lot of time during quarantine, it doesn't necessarily means I am going to practice more self-care habits. I realized that if I have all the time in the world, and if I don't schedule it and I don't prioritize it, I will still not practice my self-care habits. So it made me realize, like, the first 2 weeks, I'm like not practicing all of my self-care habits. I'm not even taking care of myself properly. And that is perfectly normal because it's a huge change and a huge crisis that's going on outside. But it really makes me realize that if I don't prioritize this, it will never go into my schedule and it will not accidentally happen for me. And I used to think that it's because of the time. I don't have enough time for self-care. I think a lot of you may be able to resonate with this, like when we are so busy, we are not able to slot in time for self-care. But even if you have the time, you will still not practice good self-care habits when you don't prioritize them. So basically, when I start prioritizing my 5 a.m. Waking up habit, I realized that my self-care habit game has been leveled up because I prioritized it. So prioritize your self-care, guys. Make sure you do what you can to ensure that you have that space for you to take care of yourself. And this is going to be in one of my upcoming videos where I talk about some scheduling mistakes and how you can be more consistent in your self-care rituals and habits. So be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss that video. Now, the fifth lesson that I would kind of remember is that routine is so important. And I realized that routine can change, but it is also important to create them and kind of improvise them as you move along. I used to have this routine of listening to a podcast while I go to work. So it kind of signifies like a start of a new day, like a good pump me out moment as I'm driving to work. But when I'm at home, I don't need to drive. So I just get into the work straight away. But I realized that something is really off. So as I'm getting ready, like when I'm doing my makeup, I would put on my podcast to kind of ritualize that going to work vibe and make sure that I get into mode. So I would dress up, I would put on my makeup, and then I would play my podcast, listen to a few podcasts, and that really helps me to get into the mode of like, hey, I'm going to work. And as for like winding down, there are some nights where I would still be working even though it's like 10-11 p.m. and I really want to kind of change that habit because it made my sleep quality super bad, and I had trouble sleeping when I'm working till late night. So last time when I'm working, I would play like a certain playlist to kind of signify that this is the end of the day. You're going home, you're gonna just enjoy your rest of the day and get some good rest. So right now I am still trying to implement a better night routine. When I nail it, I know I will never ever nail it 100%, but when I get a gist of like what really works for me and some lessons that I've learned throughout building that routine, I will definitely share with you guys as well. But for now, I would be very mindful about my skincare ritual and make sure that I play some good music so that it kind of tricks my mind that, hey, this is the end of the day, you don't have to worry about the work, you're gonna do it tomorrow. So yeah. So I hope these 5 takeaway lessons inspire you to come up with your own 5 takeaway lessons from your quarantine experience. Let me know what was your biggest takeaway. I would love to hear from all of you. I can't wait to see you in my next video. So, bye!